Hi dear students. Today we'll be continuing with the chapter reproductive health. Before I go on to the next topic, I want to clarify what was missed in the previous session. So I'm just coming to that point. I had actually referred the old book. So I missed the new version, okay? I had downloaded the old version by mistake with the wrong web page, that is the old website. So now I've downloaded and I've just cross-verified with the thanks to Tejashri who corrected me. So this is one thing I want to add here. Please note, in the previous textbook you will find only till May 2000. Okay, so which I've striked in red. Please cut off from your notebook also. Okay, so it is proper, but the information at present we have to give the updated version. So the updated information is 2011 census. They had given the data there. So in 2011 it crossed 1.2 billion. Here it was only a billion, now 1.2 billion. So that is what they are saying, the increase. And there is your, I had told population explosion is due to what and all. There is your decline in death rate. So which and all death rate, when I say both the maternal death rate as well as infant mortality rate, it was less. So deaths were rarely seen. Why rare? Because the reproductive health was maintained very good, in a very good condition. That's why it was only birth, there was less death. That's what here you can see, increased birth rate. Okay, how increased birth rate? Because of the presence of the reproducible age groups. You remember in your sexually reproducing organisms, 3 phases. In that, first one is juvenile, then reproductive phase, and then senescence. So reproductive age is the one which is able to produce the young ones. They are mature. So this is what they are explaining. I missed this point. And now this point is actually the old one from the old textbook. So I want you all to cut down. Don't include it. Information is needed for the CET point of view. Okay. Why CET point of view? We are talking about 2000. In the year 2000, the census report said the rate of the population per year is growing at 1.7%. Okay. That was in 2000 census report. So they told it doubles in 33 years. So now we are just come to 2020. We are yet to give the updated version. But the census of 2011 is shown here. So census of 2011 is shown here. So we had discussed as a billion. Now it is 1.2 billion. So please see that for your answer in the exam, you are not including this sentence. This is only for your CET. Okay, remember, it's only for CET NEET exams. They can ask at what rate it will double. Okay, so you will find that question when it comes, at what rate it will double. Okay, double the population in 33 years, or the other way around. If the rate of the population is 1.7%, okay, that is per year, what will be the outcome? So we can say when it can be doubled. So it can be doubled in 33 years. This is one assumption. You know, they had done the calculation and found out this is how we can double the present population, and after 33 years, how it gets doubled. Okay, that is what they are explaining. But remember, this is not there. So please strike it off from your notebook in pencil. Don't cut in pen. In pencil, write as above, old, from the old textbook. Okay. So don't completely eliminate that sentence. Now from the textbook, the updated textbook, we have this particular sentence here. So it is according to the 2011 census. What is the growth rate? Less than 2%. So they have just given, we can't give the exact number here. So they have given 20, okay, out of 1000 births per year. So this rate, if you see, it is, much better. How come it is much better? We are saying we are following the reproductive health program, reproductive and child health care. I've done a mistake here. Reproductive and child health care program. So with that, growth, with the help of that program, we can control the growth rate. Okay, though we thought of bringing it down, still it was marginal. Okay, it was still marginal. This is what we are saying. So at a rate at which our population could increase rapidly. So if this continues, okay, if it goes on increasing, so in the 2011 census it is not decreasing, it is increasing. Okay, so slide by slide it is increasing. So this means it is not bringing down. There is some drawbacks. There is something that is missing. Maybe there is no follow up. Okay, that's why they are saying it is increasing compared to the 2000 census. 2011 census shows the increase instead of the decrease. So in case if it continues and doubles again after certain years, what will happen? Yes, your scarcity of certain necessary basic requirements. So that is your food, shelter, clothing. Okay, so mainly it is your food and shelter. So that is what I wanted to say. So even though we have that slogan of Hum Do Hamara Do, which I had not written last time, even if we have put that forward, there are many cases, as I told, in slum areas, the rate is increasing, and in a family it is not 2 children, it is more than 2 children in some certain cases. Okay, so this is what I had missed last time and done the error. So I hope you have understood the error. I'll repeat again from this slide. Just add first strike of the red part and add by May 2011. Okay, it crosses 1.2 billion. That is the population. And then you're adding this particular point. What could be the reason for population explosion? Remember, instead of population explosion in your new textbook, it is given as population sustenance. Okay, so coming to here, this is the one which is very important, 1 mark question. According to the 2011 census report, what is the population growth rate? So you are supposed to write this answer. So, okay, this is important. So I hope it is clear. And what did I tell about the striking off? It is in this particular slide. So you have to strike off all this in pencil. Why did I say in pencil? Because it is needed. That is a report taken in 2000. Okay, so you need a comparison. This is for CET point of view, only for the comparison. So it is your extra information. So I hope it is clear. Now I'll come to our today's topic, that is the contraceptive methods. So before I go to the, you remember last time we had discussed, just let me come to the first page. Yes, so you all remember the first different types of contraceptive methods. So here you can see there is natural, or we say the traditional, which our ancestors used to follow. Okay, and all these methods were not there. It is after the certain understanding about how we can control birth. So these are the devices that have come forward after studying the physiology, the metabolic action in our body. Certain methods are brought forward. So we'll be studying all this today. Okay, a very important full can be asked for 5 marks. In that, any 2 or any 3 can be asked like that in detail. So try to get some idea. First, let us understand the natural methods. The word natural means we are not interfering anything, or we are not keeping any device to stop the pregnancy. Okay, to avoid the pregnancy. So remember, we are doing the contraceptive methods, that is your birth control methods, only to reduce the population and to follow in a family the slogan Hum Do Hamara Do. So this is what we are saying. We have to keep the number of the individuals under control in a particular geographical area. So these are the methods put forward. Okay, we'll understand one by one. When I say natural methods, it is working on the principle of avoiding the chances of ovum and sperms meeting. So they have to see that how naturally can we avoid the fusion, or how we can avoid them meeting each other. Okay, so there are three mark question. Name the three natural methods. So there is your periodic abstinence, there is coitus interruptus, then there is lactational amenorrhea. Okay, this is your 3 mark question, and you have to know what natural methods works on which principle. So they are just seeing that the sperm does not meet the ovum. This is the main aim of how we can reduce or how we can avoid fertilization, avoid pregnancy. First one, periodic abstinence. You all remember about the menstrual cycle. We are told about the first 5 days. They have given up to 7 days, which I said up to 7 it is normal, above 7 it is abnormal. So this is up to 7 they have shown, which is infertile period. There is no egg released, there is no ovum that is ready. Okay, at which particular time? I had told from 11 to particular 16. It's the most, we can say plus or minus days. It can be before, it can be after that, for day 14 where ovulation occurs. So that is the time we say if the sperm mates, fertilization occurs. So we are avoiding pregnancy, or we are avoiding no conception. The person who does not want to conceive can follow this cycle. Okay, so this is what they have told. To than sticking on this, we'll just start from day 8 till day 19 to be more assured. So this is how chances of conceiving is nil. Okay, it is nil. Now there is one more phase, that is your after ovulation. The disintegration begins, and then after that, when shedding begins, you can find the bleeding occurs. So you know about the infertile period, which is the right time for coitus, for sexual intercourse. So at this particular time, there is no chance of getting no chance of being pregnant, no chance of being conceived. Okay, so let's understand what is it. So periodic abstinence is one such method in which the couples avoid or abstain. So avoid or abstain, that is like they don't go for that period from the coitus, that is from the intercourse, from which day? From day 10 to day 17 of the menstrual cycle. Okay, why between those days? You know very well, ovulation occurs between that, and that is on day 14. So we are just avoiding any chance. So from day 10 to day 17 we are abstaining the coitus to avoid pregnancy. So the chance of fertilization is high during this period. Which period I'm talking about? The fertile period. So we have to avoid, that's why abstinence. Okay, then therefore abstaining from coitus during this period can prevent conception. Okay, so this is one idea. The second is coitus interruptus, another term withdrawal. So it is the withdrawal of penis. So you will understand here another method. The male partner withdraws his penis from the vagina just before the ejaculation. Why? To avoid insemination. It is seen that, imagine if this is the, you all remember the vaginal opening, and in case if there is your erection by the male, the penis, okay, there is copulation. So this is insemination process where the penis is inserted into the female reproductive tract to release the semen. But what is coitus interruptus? Just before ejaculation, okay, just before ejaculation, the penis is drawn out. Okay, so drawn out to avoid insemination, So it's understood here. So it is drawing his penis out from the, you can add the word out from the vagina just before ejaculation. I hope you remember what is ejaculation. Okay, so ejaculating the sperms, you all remember, it is the ejaculatory duct which stores the sperms. Now third third type of natural method is lactational amenorrhea. Let me show you the picture. So this is the after birth, after parturition, up to 6 months, as she is feeding the baby, there are certain factors which is not allowing for pregnancy. So you will understand what is that now. So lactational amenorrhea, it is the absence of menstruation. So for 6 months there will be no menses. So it is based on the fact that the ovulation and the cycle does not occur during the period of intense lactation. So here what they are saying is, of course the ovulation does not occur at that particular time, okay, as well as the cycle does not occur. And so when we are saying ovulation is not there, there is no menses, we are saying the main factor is intense lactation. Okay, so there are certain hormones that are released during the lactation period. So here I cannot explain in detail. If you want to know, let me know, I'll explain you personally. Okay, or if you want me to explain in the next class, I'll explain in the next class. So this is the main thing for 6 months. It sees that the cycle does not occur, even the ovulation does not occur, and hence for 6 months pregnancy cannot occur at all. So it is absence of menstruation also. Okay, so when we say absence of menstruation, because the ovulation did not take place and cycle also did not occur. What is the main cause for this? Intense lactation. Now, as long as the mother breastfeeds, okay, chances of conceptions are almost nil. However, this method has been reported effective only up to a period of 6 months following parturition. Okay, after that the chances is less. Okay, so I hope you have understood. Only if it is fully, it is actually up to 6 months, it will definitely see that the lactational amenorrhea occurs. Okay, after that it depends how the metabolic condition is within the mother. So it's clear about that. Now let us know the effects of natural methods. Since we are not using any cream, we are not taking any tablets, we are not using any device, so that's why they are saying no medicine or no devices. Okay, so side effects are almost nil. Nil means totally zero, no effects, no side effects, but there are chances of failures. Okay, remember, chances of failure is there, that is high in this particular. So especially we can't expect during lactational amenorrhea as well as during coitus interruptus. Okay, so they will definitely use certain spermicidal lotion just to kill the sperms if they had the coitus. Now coming to this second, so I hope you understood about natural. So that is using your menstrual cycle period table, and lactational amenorrhea, that is feeding the lactation period, which includes, that is for up to 6 months, and coitus interruptus, and that is a main thing. Just before ejaculation the penis is drawn out. So second, we are going for barrier method. So now we are using device, something to block, we are calling that as barrier. So barrier methods, okay, in that we are preventing physical meeting. So it is available, so those devices are available for both males and females. So we are discussing about condoms, diaphragms, cervical caps and vaults. So in that we are going in detail one by one. Let us understand about the condoms. These are the barriers made of the thin rubber or latex sheath. So the rubber, latex, I hope you know the texture between it. Okay, latex is a raw type, rubber is a different type. So we will not go much detail. This is actually a thin covering. Let me show you the picture. So this is of the males, this is for females. Okay, so you can see how thin it is. So it is either the latex or the rubber. Okay, now let us understand where it is used. It is used for, in case of males, to cover the penis, and in case of females, cervix and vagina. Okay, so it is first inserted through vagina and then reach till the cervix. So this is only done, this particular done, keeping the condoms on the reproductive organs, it is done only before coitus, not the whole day, only before coitus, and after the coitus it has to be removed and discarded. So they are saying it is only before coitus, so that the ejaculated semen will not enter the female reproductive tract, hence preventing the conception. So this is not 100% sure. It's not like how we say Dettol is 99.9%. So that 0.01% is still a mistake. So even in condoms, the same thing. We cannot assure this device to completely stop the pregnancy or completely avoid the conception. We cannot say that. So this is how we say there could be damage, or it can be tearing off, because it is a latex sheath or the rubber sheath. Okay, so this is what we have to take care about as we study. So there is one popular brand which we'll be studying, that is Nirod. 1 mark question, name the popular brand of condom. It's for male, that is Nirod. This is a 2 mark question, what is the use of condoms? So till now they have told, in recent years, due to its additional benefit, you all know very well about, there are many prostitutes, there are many cases. So it's mainly the sexually transmitting diseases, about HIV, and there are various types of STDs. So this STI means sexually transmitting infections. Okay, so remember, it is a protection. So it could be anything, like you might have heard about, there are relationships, there could be like prostitutes, or it could be even certain rape cases also, but only in some cases they will use condoms, not otherwise. But what you can see here is, in studies, it has prevented the STIs and AIDS. Then coming to your what kind of benefit does it give to the user? So it is disposable. Okay, it is one way, it is easy to dispose, not a problem, and it is self inserted. You don't require a doctor to keep insert it, or you don't require a nurse, or you don't need any professional expert. So with the help of a guide, you are able to, the guidebook or there are many informations, through that you are able to, or on the packet only they'll be giving the information, through that they are able to self insert, and this is how they give the privacy to the users. This is the benefit to the people. So this is during coitus. So I hope you understood about condoms. Coming to diaphragms, cervical caps, vaults. So mainly we are talking about the other types of barriers, again made of rubber here. So this is inserted into female reproductive tract and covers the cervix during the coitus. So these diaphragms, cervical caps, vaults are the ones which will again prevent sperms entering into the reproductive tract, that is especially till the uterus. It stops. Till cervix we have a barrier. These are your barriers. So again here, prevents conception. How? By blocking the entry of sperms. So they are reusable here. So remember, they can be washable and be reused. So you'll understand here looking at the picture. So you know about the condom already, which is only a use and throw. Whereas your diaphragm, you can see the diaphragm. Okay, here they are shown how it is inserted, the diaphragm. So into the vagina, into the cervix, So this is the uterus, the pink color portion. So your cervical caps, and there is a diaphragm. Just note here spermicidal gel. Okay, that's spermicidal. I hope you know the word spermicidal, insecticidal. When we say side, we are talking about the kill. How you know the term suicide? It's like killing, self killing. Whereas your spermicidal, yeah, the sperm is killed. Okay, so I'm just giving you the meaning. This is applied to be more assured that the sperms will not, reach the ovum. So the moment they are in contact or they pass through it, they will definitely pass through mixing with the gel, with the spermicidal gel. In case if they pass through the diaphragm. Okay, so in case if they pass, definitely they mixed with spermicidal gel. The moment they reach till the oviduct, they will die off. So this is the assuring that the conception is totally prevented. Okay, so you have understood about that spermicidal cream. It can be creams, it may be available in jellies and foams. So these are used along with the barriers. Why? To increase the contraceptive efficiency, the control method. Let us go to the third type, that is the intrauterine devices. So in this intrauterine devices, you can find the most effective and popular method. So they are inserted by doctors. Now you should know they are inserted by doctors, and it is inserted into the uterus. Inserted by doctors. Doctors or expert nurses are only allowed to do, not self. So the person who wants to use it will not put by herself. Okay, so this is only in girl, in case of female, that is only into the uterus it can be inserted, and with the help of doctors, experts or professional persons. So only through vagina it can be inserted. So there is a particular method and carefully done. So it is the ideal IUDs, intrauterine device, 1 mark question. So it is ideal contraceptive who want to delay pregnancy or space children, like they want a gap from one child to another child. So it is a most widely accepted method since it is the most effective method. So you can get the picture here how till the uterus it has to be placed, and that is only with the help of the doctors and nurses. There are 3 types of intrauterine devices. When we say intra, within the uterus, that's why intrauterine. Okay, remember, don't write inter. I've seen certain students writing inter by mistake. So see that you're writing intra. So there is your non-medicated IUDs like Lippes loop, copper releasing IUDs like your copper 7, copper T, multi-load 375, and there is your hormone releasing IUD, Progestat and LNG 20. So these are your certain examples. Lippes loop is actually the old version. At present, the women use the hormone releasing. There is your copper T, copper 7. So there are, at present they are following this. Whatever here you can see, it is the early IUDs. Let us know the functions of IUDs. It increases phagocytosis. When I say phagocytosis, I hope you remember in first PUC, cell eating activity. Okay, it eats the other cells. So it will eat the sperm. So phagocytosis of sperm. It is within the uterus. So what does this copper ion do? It has a very good property. That property is suppressing sperm motility as well as suppressing fertilization capacity. 2 properties for coppers. That's why in your copper releasing IUDs, sperm motility it will decrease, fertilizing capacity also will be decreased. In your hormone releasing IUDs, uterus is unsuitable. In addition, makes the uterus unsuitable for implantation. And okay, there is a mistake. So here there is your release of hormones, and here it makes the sperms hostile. Okay, very important is hostile, unsuitable for implantation in case of female. I hope it is clear. So when I say unsuitable, it is not allowing the fertilized ovum to settle on the uterus. It is not allowing to settle, or embedding of your blastocyst, you remember, that is prevented. It is not allowing for the embedding of the blastocyst. So that is why unsuitable for implantation. So if any doubts are there, let me know. So I think I've done a mistake here. This sentence doesn't make sense, but you just remember hormone releasing IUDs. What are their functions? In addition to all these, there also the fertilization capacity is reduced, and mainly in addition to that, it is unsuitable for implantation as well as making it hostile for sperms. Now next, it is your fourth one. This is the fourth one, oral administration. When I say oral administration, we are taking the tablets. Similarly, we have another term called pills. So you remember your contraceptive pills, Saheli, we had studied earlier, developed by the CDRI. Now, just note, oral administration of small doses of either progestogens, or what is that progestogens? It is the combination of progesterone and estrogen. Okay, so this is another contraceptive method used by females. So progestogens, another term progesterone in combination with estrogen, is called as progestogen. So that is the composition in the pill. That pill is taken by the females to avoid conception. So they are used in the form of tablets, hence the name pills, hence the name contraceptive pills. So you can find here, it is your once a week tablet. You can find the word once a week tablet here. Let us understand the function of how the contraceptive pills work. So first you should know when they are to be taken. So taken daily for a period of 21 days. So when do we have to start taking? Preferably within the first 5 days of menstrual cycle. So we have to take within the first 5 days of menstrual cycle. So it can be from the start of menstrual cycle itself. You can start counting your 21 days. So pills have to be taken that time. So after a gap of 7 days, during which menstruation occurs, okay, it has to be repeated in the same pattern till the female desires to prevent conception. So this is how they are doing. There is your period of 21 days taken within the first 5 days of menstrual cycle, then a gap of 7 days, that is during which menstruation occurs, a gap comes. Okay, then it has to be repeated in the same pattern again till when? Till the female is ready to conceive. This method is to not to conceive. So what is the main function of this contraceptive pills or oral administration? It inhibits ovulation. That's why we are saying take during menstrual cycle, and then there is a gap, okay, during which menstruation is continuing, and again it is repeated. You are taking the tablets again. So this way we can inhibit ovulation as well as inhibit implantation. Okay, that's why we are giving a gap, again repeat, again gap, again repeat. Okay, so I hope you're getting some idea. So there is a gap to be provided. So it inhibits ovulation and implantation. As well as it will see that the quality of cervical mucus, okay, is altered. When I say altered, it will actually thicken. As it becomes thick, it will not allow for implantation. Okay, so the uterus is not able to implant the embryo, implant the blastocyst. So it is unable to do that. So this is the quality of mucus, cervical mucus. Okay, it is not only cervical, even there is changes in the uterus. Here we are talking about the cervical mucus also. Here, why they are highlighting is, here they have mentioned already, cervical mucus, the quality is altered to prevent the entry of sperms. Prevent in the sense it can retard. So pills are effective with lesser side effects and are well accepted by females. So this is actually the most preferable and easy method compared to IUDs. That is why they are saying it is having less side effects, but it is well accepted by the females. So this is how they prevent the conception, and it is reversible. So here Saheli, as we had discussed earlier in the previous session, so they have given it is a new oral contraceptive for females which contains a non-steroidal preparation. Okay, when I say non-steroidal, we are having the analog of progestogen. I hope you remember progestogen, an analog. So it is your non-steroidal preparation. It is also called as your once a week tablet or a pill with few side effects and high contraceptive value. Then we are going with the fifth one, that is implants or injectables. Just note here, this is the implant. Okay, and the implant is kept underneath the skin. So you can see how it is, applied under the skin. Okay, the implant is kept under the skin, and this is again done by the certain professions or doctors. Why we are doing that? Of course, it is for contraception, to avoid the conception. So what is present in implants? Progestogens alone, or combination of progesterone and estrogen again. So here used by females, so it will be like as implant or injection because it is kept underneath the skin. How is the mode of action? Similar to the pills and effective for a longer period. So how do we say how is the working condition? Once the administration is given, that is of progestogens or progesterone estrogen combination, okay, or even the IUD, within 2 hours of coitus, okay, within the 2 hours of coitus, this, if it is administration is done, then it is very effective as emergency contraceptives. So we are saying after the coitus there is 72 hours of time. Why we are saying 72 hours? That is the lifespan of the sperms also, but they have the chances to swim towards the ovum. So that is the time they require also. So we are saying administration of progestogens or the progestogen estrogen combination or the IUD. We are even including IUD here. So when these should be administered within 2 hours of coitus, then only it is effective. Okay, so when it is useful, imagine there is rape cases, okay, or unwanted sex or unprotected intercourse. Okay, so during that time they have no other option but do the administration within 72 hours of coitus to prevent pregnancy. Okay, so you can just observe reality how the implant looks under the skin. Okay, the final surgical methods. When I say surgical method, there is your sterilization, where we are making the person infertile. When I say infertile, they are no longer able to reproduce. So here generally advised for the male and female partner as a terminal method. It is last. you are no more going to be pregnant, or you are no more able to conceive. So it prevents any more pregnancies. What it does, it completely blocks the gamete transport. When I say gamete transport, just observe here, there is your vasectomy, tubectomy, which is the terms given for the sterilization in the particular sex. In case of males, vasectomy; in case of females, tubectomy. So here you can see how the vas deferens is cut and tied separately. Okay, here also the fallopian tube is cut and tied separately. So here the sperms cannot enter. Okay, they cannot even come from this way. They are unable because it's cut here. Similarly, in case of females, once the ovary releases the ovum, it cannot come till the uterus. Neither the sperms can reach the oviduct. Okay. So this is the idea. So vasectomy, tubectomy, you've understood. So in case of vasectomy, you've understood, small part of vas deferens is removed. It's actually cut, removed, and then tied up. So that's how it's done. So where it is actually done, a small incision on scrotum. Okay, in case of female, incision is done on the abdomen, or it can be done through vagina. So here again, small part of fallopian tube is removed or cut and tied up. So this is how we have told. It is highly effective. The individual is no more fertile. Okay, they cannot release gametes. Okay, and once they are unable to release gametes, of course the menses will not occur. For female, menses cannot occur because the ovum is not depositing on the uterus. So this you have to remember, they cannot reverse. They cannot. Only the chances is the moment you are planning within that particular time of healing. If you just plan, I want to be again fertile, then within that time period they can again rejoin. Healing can take place. But in case if it is like a time is crossed and then you are asking, no, I want to reverse the process, I want to conceive again, no, it is not possible. Okay, so I hope it is clear till here. These are some do's and don'ts. That is, when we select the contraceptive method, we have to take the consultation from the medical professional. A qualified person is needed to guide you. We cannot directly say, okay, this is the education we got, okay, we can go forward for this. No, you have to take the guidance. You have to consult the qualified medical professional. Okay, and remember, contraceptives are not regular requirements. It is not like every day you have to use it. We have to know that there are side effects. We should know the drawbacks about it, because it is not 100% assured that these are safer. It is only during the coitus we are saying it is needed. So here we have told it is against the practice of reproductive event. We are just stopping the process. Why? We want to control the population, so we are practicing against the natural condition. Okay, so when we are forcing the person to use this method, these contraceptive methods, only if they want to prevent pregnancy or delay the pregnancy, or they want to give a gap between the births, like there is first child, then after certain months the family can plan the next child. So that's why it can be forced at that minute. Then there are others. So here it, of course, as I had explained before, it is slowly increasing with the reproductive and child health care programs, RCH program. Okay, it is helpful over there. So the moment if you follow up properly, of course we can see and reduce that uncontrolled growth of population. Okay, and of course there are ill effects which you can go through here. So there is your nausea, abdominal pain, breakthrough bleeding, irregular menses, even chances of breast cancer, which is not very significant. They will not be easily identified, but you should not ignore whatever happens like that. After using them, especially, you have to go and approach to the medical professionals. So we are done. Any doubts, let me know. Okay, thank you.